More interest.
You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome in Locked On Syracuse. I'm Jackson Holzer, and thank you for making us your first listen of every single day here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts. And folks, let's catch you all up here. Syracuse basketball over the past 48 hours has shown public interest in 3 more players, and we're going to talk about them a little bit here on this mini podcast. The 3 players: Amarion Dickerson, Derrian Ford, and Del Jones. Now, previously, the Orange have also shown interest in Kobe McGee from Drexel, Jakari White from North Dakota State, and Trayson Eaglestaff from North Dakota. It also should be pointed out that just because Syracuse has or has not shown public interest in someone, it doesn't mean that they're going after them or not going after them. As we saw last night with William Kyle, that news just kind of broke out of nowhere. However, these are verified reports that the Orange have at least expressed interest in these 3 players. Let's start off talking about Amarion Dickerson, 6'7", 185-pound forward from Robert Morris. The info came from Adam Borst, who works with the Robert Morris Athletics. Dickerson is, out of these 3 players, the most exciting for Syracuse basketball. The other schools that are involved are Kansas State, Louisville, NC State, Ole Miss, Seton Hall, and USC. I am kind of surprised that Alabama is not involved with this. I will explain more in just a second. But anyways, with Amarion Dickerson, last season he averaged 13 points a game, 6 rebounds, over 2 blocks a game, and over 1 steal per game. He also shot over 53% from the floor, but just 27% from the three-point line. So this is not an outside shooter for Syracuse if he were to commit to Syracuse. The reason why I say it's kind of surprising that Alabama is not involved with Amarion Dickerson is because he recently dropped 25 points on Alabama in the NCAA tournament and nearly led Robert Morris to a 15-2 upset in round 1. Oh, by the way, more on Amarion Dickerson. He was named the Horizon League Defensive Player of the Year this season, and the advanced metrics back it up. Evan Maya gave him a 1.74 defensive grade. For context, that was 3rd best in the Horizon League this season. Of course, this is only interest. We'll see how far it goes. But my initial thought on Amarion Dickerson is this: if he were to commit to Syracuse basketball, he is a better version of Jair Davis, because this is someone who can score, someone who can rebound. He also profiles as not the best outside shooter, but unlike Jair Davis, he profiles as a much better defender at the next level. Jair Davis was a better scorer, but was not a great defender at Delaware. Lo and behold, he comes to Syracuse, and he was essentially the same player, but obviously going from a mid-major to a high major, his points and his and he got a roll reduction, so it went a little bit down. Overall, I think Amarion Dickerson would be a great fit for Syracuse basketball. Great wing player, great defender. What are your thoughts on Amarion Dickerson? Comment in the comment section below. Now, coming up, 2 more players that Syracuse basketball has expressed interest in: Derrian Ford and Del Jones. We'll talk about them next here on Locked On Syracuse. Life moves fast, especially when you have a family. One day you're watching your kids take their first steps, and before you know it, they're off to college, and that's why securing their future is so important. Fabric by Gerber Life makes it simple to get term life insurance that fits your family's needs. With Fabric, you can apply for term life insurance online right from your couch. You could be covered in under 10 minutes, and in many cases, no health exam is required. You can get $1 million in coverage for less than $1 a day, so protecting your loved ones doesn't have to break the bank. Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to help protect their families. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/lockedoncollege. That's meetfabric.com/lockedoncollege. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Assurance Company, not available in certain states. Price is subject to underwriting and health questions. Baseball season is in full swing, and there's no better way to get in on the action than with Prize Picks, the best place for daily fantasy sports. With Prize Picks, you pick more or less on at least 2-player projections, and if you're right, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash, whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs, or Juan Soto striking out to end the game for the Mets. Prize Picks keeps every game exciting. Setting up a lineup takes less than 60 seconds, and when you win, your payout is quick, safe, and secure. Download the app today and use the code LOCKEDONCollege to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONCollege for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Daylight savings snuck up on us again, and if you're feeling that lost hour of sleep, 5-Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun, but sometimes you need a little boost to power through. Whether you're staying up late watching the NCAA tournament, squeezing in around a golf after work, or just trying to keep up with your busy day, 5-Hour Energy gives you that quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. With longer days, I love getting outside for a hike or a run. Tropical Burst is my go-to for a quick boost. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your door. Need one now? Grab a 5-Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized. We talked about Amarion Dickerson. Let's get to the other players that Syracuse has recently publicly expressed interest in. Let's start off with Derrian Ford, a 6'3" guard from Arkansas State. The info came from the portal report. My initial thought is I don't really like this show of interest at all. Perhaps the staff and the GM, Alex Klein, see something that we don't. There are 11 other schools that are interested in Derrian Ford. It's a mixed bag between high major and mid-major schools, but some of those programs include, but not limited to, USC, Texas A&M, Missouri, Ole Miss, and Memphis. And I can already tell you right now, if Derrian Ford goes to Syracuse, he's not going to be very good. But if he goes to one of those other high major programs, he's going to somehow be outstanding, knowing our luck. Also, it's got nothing to do with the school that Derrian Ford is coming from, Arkansas State, because as I have said before, and I will say again, the school that a player is coming from really does not matter. It's all about the player's ability and the fit with the new school that they are going to. And just to prove my point even further, I really like Amarion Dickerson, and he's coming from Robert Morris, of all places, right? Here are the numbers, though, for Derrian Ford, and there's a reason why I don't like him, okay? 8 points a game. All right. 3 rebounds, less than 1 assist, 38% from the field, 32% from the three-point line. So he is not exactly a great shooter, and he's also not a good defender at all. He's got an Evan Maya defensive rating of negative 0.90. That is by far the worst on the team this past season. So basically, Derrian Ford is someone who can't really shoot at a high level. He's not someone that's really going to distribute the ball at a high level. And oh, by the way, he's not a great defender either. So yeah, Syracuse basketball has shown interest in him. I hope that it doesn't go much farther than that, to be honest with you. If they get him and he's a third stringer, fine. I guess that's fine as depth to play 5 minutes a night, maybe. But if you're asking him to play big minutes next year for your team, I don't like it at all. Sorry, I'm blunt here on this podcast. Finally, you got Del Jones. I'm a little bit more excited about Del Jones. 6'2", 190-pound guard from Clemson. Again, I don't really care about the school that he's coming from. I care about the player himself. The info came from Sam Kaiser over at 24/7 High School Hoops. He is currently visiting Vanderbilt today, but the other schools that are involved are Cal, Virginia Tech, Memphis, Seton Hall, and San Diego. Jones was a freshman last season at Clemson. He only played about 12 minutes per game, and his stats don't necessarily wow you. I mean, 4 points a game, 40% from the field, 31% from the three-point line, but I would much rather him than Derrian Ford to be a backup guard because I think that Del Jones might have a little bit of upside. Overall, Evan Maya grade of 1.18 in limited action and a defensive rating of positive 0.76. So perhaps this is someone who can go to a new program, get a little bit bigger of a role, and he'll produce a little bit more. On top of that, he's going from a freshman to being a sophomore. So I like the potential upside in Del Jones. He shouldn't be the crown jewel of anyone's transfer portal class. But if you're Syracuse and you already brought in William Kyle and then you bring in Del Jones, I think those two players, they have some upside for next year, but they also provide you some decent depth as a floor. Then you're looking at maybe 2-3 more players that Syracuse needs to add, but they have to be proven studs on the floor. I would consider that Amarion Dickerson would be or would fit in that category. What do you think of Derrian Ford? What do you think of Del Jones? And of course, from earlier, what do you think of Amarion Dickerson? 3 more players that Syracuse basketball has publicly shown interest in. I'd love to hear from you in the comments section below. To summarize everything, I really like Amarion Dickerson. I kind of like Del Jones as an upside, and I do not like Derrian Ford. As far as what is coming up on the podcast in the future, tonight, another mini podcast that'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's Poll Friday. Over under 4.5 transfers that Syracuse basketball brings in this offseason. So stay tuned for that. Also, potential full podcasts in the works, how the rotation looks like right now and what still needs to be done, examining more possible portal targets. They are growing by the day, and there are so many talented players in the portal. Also, Syracuse football related, keep an eye out for when Fran Brown names his starting quarterback. So all that and more to look forward to here on Locked On Syracuse. And thank you for making Locked On Syracuse your first listen today. For your second listen, you can check out the Locked On College Basketball Podcast with Isaac Shade and Andy Patton. March is here, so be the most informed college basketball fan throughout the madness. You can find Locked On College Basketball on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Folks, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. If you like this podcast, be sure to hit that like button. If you really enjoy the podcast, be sure to hit subscribe. Turn on those notifications because you want to know right away when I am dropping the next podcast, especially during transfer portal season when news can break on a dime. That's why you want to put on those notifications, because if you did, guess what? You would have found out at midnight, basically, I was dropping the William Kyle mini podcast. Also, be sure to check us out on social media at LO_Syracuse. And I will see you all again soon.